Hi, if you made it this far in the book, then you know who I am. But if you haven't read the book and you're watching this on some other social media platform, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Irnise. I go by Your Nurse Lawyer. I have been a nurse for over a decade. I have been an attorney for half of that time. And even though I graduated from law school, passed the bar, I ended up staying in healthcare because I truly loved it. I thought I was going to be able to make a difference doing the work that I was doing at the bedside and caring for patients, but I soon realized that I needed to get away from being right in the thick of everything and actually implementing policy and societal changes by educating and helping people build businesses around the things that they love. And so I created this book called From Struggle to Stride to share my story of how I created a successful, profitable, and sustainable business in less than a year. So this is the first chapter where we talk about awareness. In the book, in that chapter, I talk about how you let the world know who you are. In this social and digital age, we now have the capabilities of sharing who we are, of telling people who we are, not only through our websites, but through video content, through pictures, through storytelling, podcasts, newsletters, so many various ways. And so for me, I'll tell you what I did. Last year, in the thick of COVID, I decided to go back and work in the hospital. I was working as a manager in a federally qualified healthcare center, working Monday through Friday, and the schedule didn't allow me to be creative. It didn't give me a break. I spent my weekends hustling and bustling and trying to get my family ready for the next week. And so Saturday and Sunday was full of activities and full of things that needed to be done versus me being able to sit down and think about what I wanted to do for my future. And so when COVID happened, I decided to go back and work in the hospital so that I could then turn around and take some of the days off and work on a business. I really originally thought that I was going to build a business on a side while I got back into healthcare and got into the healthcare tech space. But during that process, I received a lot of no's. Right? I interviewed with people, I spoke to people about my career, my background, and they loved me, but they never gave me an opportunity to work for their organization. So because I was facing what I considered a brick wall, I hired a coach to help me find some clarity, to decide if I really wanted to go full throttle in a business or if I wanted to just build something on the side while I worked full time. And I ran into Hey J Nicole, who is actually an old law school classmate who helped raise my baby when he was first born in law school, my 2L year. And so I trusted her ingenuity, I trusted her thoughts, I trusted her process because she was someone who I trusted with my child. Like, if I can't trust you with my child, right, who else can you trust? And so through working with her, I found out that I really did want to become an entrepreneur, that I really did want to become a business owner, that it was something that I had thought about and dreamed about for years, but I had suppressed due to all of the things that society had put on my plate in between the time of where I used to dream and where I was now. So I worked with her for quite a few months, and in that process, I was able to grow my social media. I was able to begin to tell my story, take my story straight to the audience without any barriers. I didn't have to pay for it. I was able to just share more about who I was and what I thought was important. But more importantly, I began to understand not more of what I knew, but more of what I didn't know. And that is where I began to realize that if you want a business, then you have to invest in marketing. You don't have a business if you don't have marketing. And so I connected with Madi, who works with the 100K campaign, and had a course that was called Content That Converts. I took that course in December of 2020. I had 1,700 followers on social media, so I was growing. I think I started that summer with 300. So I was growing steadily and organically. And I took his course, and it allowed me to see and understand analytics. It allowed me to see and understand my messaging. It brought clarity to what I was supposed to be doing to actually lead to conversions. By February or March of 2021, I had over 5,000 followers. And it wasn't necessarily just the growth because I wanted to have more followers. It was the growth that led to exposure and opportunities. I now had opportunities to be on people's podcasts and blogs, do guest newsletters, so many things that I didn't have before because I wasn't clear in my message and clear in the content that I was sharing that I knew that was important. I separated myself from everyone else by being my best self. And so this chapter really is about building awareness of who you are, but you can only do that when your messaging is clear. You can only do that when you know what it is that you should be sharing and what you should be doing, and when your purpose is so much greater than just growth. And so I'm so excited for you guys to hear the rest of the story. Tune in for chapter 2.